Hello, hello, hello. It is Tuesday night. I swear. I keep missing days and I don't even know what day it is anymore. It's been a really weird summer. But for a lot of you, if you're a parent like me, school starts tomorrow. So for better or for worse, the end of the summer is here. So that's really interesting. And that also means that this will probably be short tonight. I have to get the kids bathed and ready for bed and all the things. It also means I've already had about 2 glasses of wine. So that's just a disclaimer. So we're just, celebrating the end of summer and looking forward to a new year and all that comes with it. And I don't know. I'm in kind of an interesting place this week and tonight, and I just feel like I've been going and going and going and going and going, and I am like, I don't know if I'm tired, but I'm a little all over the place. I've been looking at my schedule and being like, oh crap, I forgot I have this on this day and this on this day, and it's just been a lot. So I'm really hoping that as we start school and summer is kind of over, that I can kind of come back into, I don't know, a little bit more chilled out space. And not that any of that is a wrongness of going and going and going, and not that there's a rightness to being slow and steady. It's just different. And I'm sort of hoping for a little bit of that in the near future. But with all of that said, what I really wanted to talk to you about tonight is choice. And how we have made ourselves wrong so much. This has come up in every coaching conversation I've had this week. It has come up in most of my therapy sessions, in kind of everything, not just with me, but with my friends, with my clients. It's on the tip of everybody's awareness right now of trying to do this weird thing where we make ourselves wrong for our choices or for just being who we are. I had this conversation with someone this week about being chatty and how that was somehow wrong. Or how having a lot to say or being really potent and having an opinion on something, or voicing when you feel like you're not being treated well, and how that may have been misconceived as a wrongness. And I've asked a lot of questions with people and for myself too. What if it wasn't a wrongness? And what if it was just you being you? And what might you create if you would step into that rather than making it wrong or resisting it? And I think around choice, we do this weird thing where we look back on the choices that we've made in our lives and we decide, well, this was a good choice and this was a bad choice, and this was, good, bad, right, wrong. We kind of do this thing where it's very black or white, and we judge ourselves, or we make ourselves wrong, or we use it to justify our story or our actions in this space of I can't do this because, and we start to go into all these wrongnesses that we are, or I wrote this down and I'm not remembering the exact word I want to use. I guess it's more of the why I can't or why I'm wrong, and how we sort of use that to justify the choices we're making, or we make our choices wrong. So it's kind of this whole thing on how we've made ourselves wrong and how we keep making ourselves wrong, and how we stick that in place then. So if I did this thing 5 years ago and I keep telling myself and everybody else how wrong that is, that I made this bad choice, and if I hadn't made that bad choice, then all these other things wouldn't have happened, I keep myself stuck in that place. And I'm not allowing for what else is possible. And I'm not asking any questions. So when we come to conclusion, we shut everything down. We shut the energy of things down where nothing else is possible. But when we ask a question, we open up all the possibilities of what else could be. What if that choice that felt really wrong once was actually a gift? What did we learn? What did we create? What was created out of the choice by another choice that led you to where you are right now in this moment? And what if that isn't a wrongness? What if it was just what created what came next? And what if it's all okay? How much have you judged you for some choice that you made yesterday or last year or 10 years ago that you're still holding as part of your story on why you can't? Whatever the can't is now. That I can't get this new job, or I can't find love, or I can't be the parent I want to be, or what story are you using to justify the I can'ts in your life? And what would happen if you just let go of that? What could you create if you just released that and decided that that was a choice once, a long time ago, right or wrong, good or bad, and you just get to choose again? So there's this weird thing around choice that we were taught as kids. And for those of you who don't know, I work with kids and adolescents as a therapist, so I'm not doing coaching. And something that a lot of kids and teenagers come to me with is everybody keeps putting all this pressure on me, telling me that I have to choose. And whatever I choose is what I'm choosing for the whole rest of my life. So I'm going into my career at 16, 17, 18, and they're telling me I have to choose what I want to do when I'm 50. And that's ludicrous. But these kids are convinced, because the adults in their world have convinced them, that once they make a choice, they can't unchoose it. And if you could go back to that space of being a kid, if you remember that energy of somebody saying to you, you better choose wisely, make your choices wisely, you can't unchoose them once you've chosen them. And how much did we grow up with that belief, with that strong conviction that whatever we chose, we couldn't unchoose it? And then how much anxiety and fear around making choices did that create? Because whatever I choose, I have to choose it forever. Is that real? Is that truth? Or is that some other weird reality? Because I don't know about you, but that's not the reality that I live in. You can choose again. And if you choose once, you can choose again and again and again. Now remember that choice creates, always. So what does this choice create? Is a great question. But it might just create room for another choice, for a learning experience, for something new. We are never married to our choices. And when I tell people that, when I say that to people, you can see this like light in them, this weight that gets lifted. Because their whole life somebody told them, or they believe somebody told them once and they believed it forever, that whatever they chose was stuck. But in Access Consciousness, we talk about living in 10-second increments. And we get to choose and choose again and choose again and choose again. And you have 10 seconds to live the rest of your life. What do you choose? And it's okay. And it's okay to decide that the career you chose isn't what you want to choose today. And it's okay to decide the marriage you chose isn't what you want to choose today. Or the friendship you chose isn't what you want to choose today. Now, does that mean that you should just decide today, no, I don't want to do this right now? No, maybe not. Maybe so. But you get to choose and choose again and choose again. And every day, you can choose your partner again and again and again. And you can choose your job again and again and again. And you can choose everything in your life. And you can keep re-choosing it. It doesn't mean that you have to choose a different choice. If you're happy with the choice you have, but you also have that available to you, that you can re-choose. And if there's something that you chose 10 years ago or 10 minutes ago that isn't working for you anymore, you can choose again. and you're not stuck. I had this, so I was listening to this podcast that Shannon O'Hara and Gary Douglas did a couple days ago, sort of about some of this, and I was reading it. Oh no, I think I heard it in a different podcast on another day. I don't know. It keeps showing up in my life. This idea that you can choose and choose and choose, and it doesn't have to be solid, but how we make our choices solid when we go into the judgment of them and the wrongness of them. And I have this memory, and I may have talked about this before, but it's such a weird memory that sticks me, of being like, I think it was in 3rd grade, and my parents were divorced at the time. That's a long story for another day. But and my dad was like, oh, let's get you like this haircut. And I was like, okay. I was a kid, I didn't know. And I had this like very short, very not cute haircut. But I had agreed to it, right? Because I didn't know what it was. And I remember my friends being like, do you like your haircut? And me being like, yeah, it's great. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was horrible. And I was embarrassed and I felt awful. And I have this memory, though, of like feeling like because I chose it, I had to keep saying how great I thought it was, because it was like I had chosen it. And I have other memories of college and feeling like whatever choice I made, I had to stick to it. So I remember at one point, this is a long story, and I won't go into my long life story, but I transferred colleges in the middle of college from Arizona to Texas. And I had said I was going to go to Texas. And I kind of knew after I made that choice that it probably wasn't the best choice, but I felt like I had to stick to it because I had made the choice. And I had had this belief my entire life that I had to stick to this choice that I made, because people have told you, well, gosh, if you can't stick to your choices, what can you stick to? And aren't you wishy-washy? And aren't you, you don't know what you want? And all of these negative things that were put on us. And I did this, I mean, I don't know, until recently, I think, where once you made a choice, you kind of had to carry it through, even though somewhere in there you got this gut feeling that it wasn't actually what you wanted to choose, and that you had either chosen it for someone else or for some other reason. But that's something that we've absolutely been taught from the time we're young. And nobody says to you, guess what? You can always choose again. You can always make a different choice. And you don't have to be stuck in whatever situation you're in, regardless of what it is. Whether it's your career or relationship or location or house or anything, any choice that we make that we're like, oh, I have to stick to this thing because it would be embarrassing if I admitted that I had made the wrong choice. Make the wrong choice. You just made a choice you don't want to choose anymore. What if that was okay? What could you choose if you let go of all the judgment, all the wrongness, all the I can'ts, all the stories that you've told yourself, maybe since yesterday or maybe since childhood? What could you choose now that would be light, that would create a different reality for you, that would maybe create a different reality for everyone? I don't know that I have anything else. I don't have anything to read tonight. I think that's where I'm at today. And my thought for all of you is, when you look at your whole life, what could you choose differently or the same or whatever? But what could you choose now that would be light, that would be joyful, that would bring a sense of ease to your world? And what grand and glorious adventures could you have if you choose it? Yeah. I think that's all I got, you guys. You have a fabulous evening. For all the parents listening who have their kids starting school this week or next week, good luck with all of that. And I will see you next Tuesday night at 7:15 Central Standard Time. Thanks, you guys. Oh, one more thing. And if you know anybody in your world that this would be a contribution for, please, I'd ask that you share it. Awesome. Have a great night. Thanks, you guys.